Working Mothers is the 13th episode of the second season of Full House, and this is the first time I've watched this since watching the Doris Day show, and that makes it pretty special, and I will get to that in a moment. There will be spoilers from this point on as I discuss various aspects of the narrative. I will say I don't love the title because it kind of implies that the work Jessie and Joey do at home is woman's work, if you like, mother's work. Why couldn't they just say working fathers? There was no reason to imply, certainly today, I don't think they'd imply that they are becoming working mothers because they mostly take care of the girls but are looking at actually getting a full time career. So, don't love the title, but it's a product of its time, so I can let that one slide. It starts off very cutely with Michelle skating, very, very sweet. Michelle's vocabulary is just incredible. I know obviously there's a lot of time between each episode, and it's just wonderful to see Mary Kate and Ashley's vocabulary growing, and it's something I find personally really delightful. Then we get to Joey and Jessie, who are working on a jingle, and then DJ and Stephanie come into the room and they need their help. They need to help DJ get ready for her karate test. Is that the right word? I don't know if it is. Exam, I think that's the word. She's going for her green belt, pretty awesome. And Stephanie wants to do an Elvis performance at her Honeybees show. And I'll come back to Stephanie's performance in a little bit because it's adorable. But obviously, they're having to take a break from their jingle to help the girls. And they sell the jingle, and they're so excited about this, understandably. And they go in to have a meeting. And there we have the character of Mr. Malatesta, played by James Hampton. James Hampton was Leroy in the Doris Day show for a couple of seasons. And as I said, the first time I've seen this episode, or the first time I saw it, that wouldn't have meant anything to me at all. But obviously now having watched the Doris Day show and loved Leroy as a character, it was just something a little bit extra for me that I wouldn't have got out of the episode the first time. And Mr. Malatesta is very happy with them and decides to offer them this position, this great career opportunity. And Joey and Jessie have to work out if this is something they want to do. And DJ and Stephanie are not exactly thrilled about it. Now, I will say Danny's attitude in this was perfect. He was supportive of the boys, but understanding of how the girls felt. And at no point did he ever try and make Joey and Jessie feel guilty about contemplating this job. He definitely supported them while still being there for Stephanie and DJ. And I think that was the best position for Danny to have. And the girls are, thinking they'll never get to see Joey and Jessie. And it's really sweet to see how they've bonded. And obviously, they're not going to be neglected or abandoned. They're still going to be cared for, as Joey and Jessie point out. But they're not going to be there 24/7. And I think it's fair. I don't think any parent should have to be there 24/7 once a child gets to a certain age. In fact, it's good to have time away from each other, because if you're around each other 24/7 when the girls aren't at school, you can kind of get under each other's feet. It's good to have other interests outside of the home and spread your wings a bit, both for the adults and the children. And it's a great opportunity for them. What are they going to do? Well, actually, I couldn't remember from the first time I saw this. I couldn't remember what the outcome was. And I have to say the outcome was perfect, because I was kind of worried they would not take the job because they wanted to be there for the girls. And at the same time, I was worried that if they took the job, well, I kind of knew what happened with the future of the show, but of course it might mean that they need a babysitter or something else. And I think their solution of working from home is a really great way to go. And obviously, 2020s, that's not exactly that peculiar. It's very commonplace, but certainly at the time, maybe not so much. And I think it was a really great way to allow Jessie and Joey that character development, to push their characters and their careers forward without losing any of the dynamic that we have in the household. And I think it was just a great decision for everybody in the family, but also a great decision for the show as well. So I was really pleased with the way this went and everything that it brought forward. We also have, as I was going to mention, DJ and Stephanie come back from their various activities. DJ got her green belt, and Stephanie, Jodie Sweetin looks adorable. She's dressed as Elvis, and it's just brilliant. We also get Danny, Bob Saget, of course, doing an Elvis impression, and I have to say it was pretty good. All of the Elvis impressions are good in this. Maybe not Jesse level good, but definitely up there. So, really enjoyed this episode. I assume I enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but watching it now, uh, just with thoughts of Leroy and James Hampton in the Doris Day show, Working Mothers is just a little bit more special. Still don't love the title, but everything else I really thoroughly enjoyed. It's definitely a very entertaining episode.